What?
Doesn't reach, Daniel.
Doesn't reach, Daniel. Daniel. Doesn't reach. Let's fix it, Daniel.
Maybe it doesn't.
Oh, hang on. Hang on, my love. Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
Is that better? Thank you.
Take the rabbit's ear.
Welcome, everyone, to Remember That. I am Danny Giles.
Oh, God.
Across from me is Maddie Bell. This is our 90s, 2000s nostalgia podcast.
Oh, my God, he's doing an
where we
intro.
dive into childhood memories. Further down the line, we're going to be diving into a lot of different stuff from Aussie nostalgia. But for now, we're just talking about us. We're getting to know us. Do you like this intro?
Oh, God.
It's so long, isn't
so
it?
So cringe.
Well.
I think by now people would know what it's about, do you think?
Well, they do now. Absolutely. Because of the beautiful intro I just gave.
Brilliantly thought out intro. Well done, Daniel.
We're currently on holiday.
Yeah, we are. Where are we?
We're in a place called Grossvale, which is about an hour out of Sydney. We needed to get away from the weekend. We needed to get away. We needed to get away from the weekend. Like, run! The weekend's coming, run! We needed to get away for the weekend.
Yes, we are on holiday.
We're on holiday, so we
Mum and Dad are off the clock.
Mum and Dad are off the clock, but we just thought, we were down here. We're in front of a fire. This place has a very big indoor fireplace. I've taken a photo.
Lovely.
And
well, we brought the dog.
We brought the dog. Yeah, this is Marty's first holiday. Oh, look, he's very
that
relaxed.
makes it sound so sad. It's his first holiday. He's 6.
He is a well-travelled dog. He lived in Brisbane with me. He's been on plenty of day trips. And actually, on Brisbane, on the way back in Foster, we stayed at a pet-friendly motel.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, what's that? I wonder if it's a balcony. No, it's just a motel room. And they just go, yeah, it's fine if your dog's
you can
there.
have your dog.
Yeah, literally. There's no difference.
There's no grass.
They just don't care. There's no grass. There's nothing. There's no other area.
Yeah.
They were like, this is a pet-friendly motel.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this just means you don't give a shit that the dog's in there and on the bed.
Sleeping on the bed.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Great for a dog.
He's very well-travelled, but this is, we picked a place and we thought, oh, let's bring him. And he has been...
He loves it.
He loves it. I think a lot of it he's been quite overwhelmed.
Very overwhelmed.
Even when we're inside, he's on walk mode. So he's bringing us the ball to throw, thinking that we're still outside. Because as soon as you step out, there's
outside.
Yeah,
we're in an apartment.
We're in an apartment. He's used to having to. It's a whole process to go outside.
Yeah,
you got to go down the stairs. He's got to wait for me to get ready and get all my shit together.
His
like
least favorite time of the morning. He hates that.
Yeah,
and he met some farm animals today.
He did.
And the baby goats tried to headbutt him. It was very funny.
Yeah, this is my dog Maddie, by the way. I don't know if we've ever seen this.
He's my stepchild.
Yes, your stepchild.
Naughty stepchild.
Yeah. I think he's really enjoyed himself.
He's a country boy now.
This has kind of been more his holiday.
It's absolutely his holiday.
He's kind of dominated
it's not ours.
The whole holiday. We've been non-stop throwing the ball. But he fucking loves it, doesn't he?
We've been flat out really with him.
Yes.
It's like having a toddler.
It is, but he's been very well behaved. Very well behaved with... okay, no?
No, yeah.
He has.
He's been pretty good.
He's
been better
good.
than I expected.
Way better than I expected. He's been good with recall.
And
he's been
there's
good
even
with,
a little family of ducks on the little pond outside.
He has not even gone near them.
Tiny new babies, and he hasn't touched them.
He hasn't touched them.
Very pleased with him about.
Yeah, so we're away, and we thought, fuck it, we'll bring. Normally we record on Sundays. And I said, hey, should we bring it or should we just give us a... And you were like, nope, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I'm glad. This is cool.
It's nice in front of the fire.
Can listen back to this and go, oh, that was nice.
Nostalgic for us.
Nostalgic. Yeah, there you go.
You're welcome, everybody.
It's a full nostalgia circle.
Bringing you along with us.
Today, I wanted to talk about the classroom.
Yeah.
Now, I have so many different stories about the classroom. I was often kicked out of school, I was eventually kicked out of school, but I was often kicked out of the classroom. And there's a couple of funny stories that still to this day make me laugh. But I want to throw it to you, and I have my theories as to what the answer is going to be to this question, but what were you like as a student?
I think you definitely know what I was like. We were complete opposites.
You
Well,
were
we still are, but
you
as
were quiet.
kids,
Yeah.
yeah, very quiet. I was very well behaved
Yep.
in class.
Mm-hmm. Was there a class clown?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think. In my first high school, definitely the boy that I had a crush on was the class clown. So I might have had a crush on you if we were at school together.
You know what's really funny? I remember being a class clown in both primary school and high school, and I think you feel like when you're that, you feel like everyone likes you because they're all laughing.
Mm-hmm.
But I learnt later in life that I think most people, even though they are laughing because you're doing funny stuff, they are like, I fucking hate that guy.
Oh, yeah. I think particularly in high school because sometimes you actually care about what you're learning about occasionally.
Yeah.
And it pisses you right off when
Yes.
one of the kids is just being
But
so
laughter's so
disruptive.
involuntary. So they're just like, that's funny. But then it's secretly like, okay, shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
you're really annoying.
Yeah, and sometimes people would tell me to shut the fuck up. I just couldn't concentrate. I just couldn't focus. Did you ever get in trouble? Like ever?
Yeah.
What was it for? What'd you do?
Oh, I once had a small rebellious phase with my best friend in primary school.
What was your
Her
best
name
friend?
was Phoebe, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. We cut out of art class once. I think it was art class. Maybe it was band practice. I think we were.
Oh, you just
Doing
you
some sort
ditched it.
We ditched it. We went into the toilets and threw little bits of wet toilet paper on the ceiling.
That was what you did with your time? You didn't go smoke or do drugs or go to the shops. You were like,
No, we were in year
let's
6.
stay in the grounds of the school.
Yeah.
Just you and her.
Yeah.
Well, what was that like for you? Were you like, this is awesome?
Yeah, I had fun.
Was it something you do again? Is that something you still would like to do? We can do that if you want.
It was a thing that was at our school. People used to do. It's like a spitball, you know.
Sure.
And it sticks there.
Yeah, sure. I get that
It
for
was
sure.
a
Yeah.
thing. People did it, and that was the first time I'd experienced that, and it was quite fun, like a graffiti type experience. I guess.
Yes. Okay.
Bit
sure.
naughty, bit taboo, you know.
Yeah.
But I never really did stuff like that. She was a bit of a bad influence on me. I mean, I can't really say that.
Did you have the angel and the devil on your shoulder when you were there?
Yeah.
Come on, Maddie, throw it. Throw it to the ceiling. No, Maddie, go back. Let's go back to class. Was it a real moment for you? Wow.
It was a bit of a battle for me. But it was fun. I don't regret it.
Yeah. You stand
But
by.
I do-
You
I
stand by your
it.
decision. You stand by your
I'm
decision.
glad I had that experience, but I did get in trouble. Our principal,
Well, we have your principal on the phone. He joins us now. No, I'm just joking. Yeah.
he was a loose cannon. He was a loose unit.
He was throwing spitballs on the ceiling.
No,
Right.
no. So he was the teacher. He was the band teacher, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the principal.
Yep.
And that was the class we cut out of.
Uh-oh.
We came back.
So he
and
doubled. He was a principal and teacher.
he
he
did a lot of things.
Did he get a double
He
salary?
was also the postman. It's like those small country towns where the pub is also the post office.
Yeah.
He was very angry with me.
Mm-hmm.
But he was known to throw chairs in class and.
Oh, I thought you were going to say at the ceiling. Like he had to one up all the kids. Everyone's throwing spitball. He goes, hey, kids, check. It doesn't stick to the ceiling. But you've all got to go, you've all got to be like,
Clap.
you've all got to be like, oh, wow. He's like, ha, ha, ha. Yeah. Chair ceiling. Woo. Rock and roll, kids. Everyone goes home early. Goes off away in a motorcycle.
Well, he was also the art teacher, so.
Oh, wow, right. So
and
he
I
was.
think he did a bit of maths. I don't know. Primary school teachers are,
You're like, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't a teacher. He just kind of came in and
he wasn't
he
associated
just kind of
with
walked
the
into
school
around
at
the
all.
grounds. Oh,
actually
Doug,
was.
get out of here.
He did do stuff around the grounds.
He did. Oh my god.
Actually, I do have sorry. I
Yeah.
have another story
No,
about him.
please.
So when we were in year 6, we painted our own faces on a bit of wood. And they stuck them out the front on the
You
fence.
have told me this.
They were there for so long.
Yes, you've told me this.
Years they were there for. Until recently.
They were just so degraded. It just looked horrific.
But I didn't get to paint my own because I was away sick or something. So Mr. Watson painted mine and it looked shit.
Wow.
I looked like an old woman.
I wish you never got a photo of it.
Oh, I probably do somewhere.
Let's talk the classroom.
You were the class clown.
Yeah, look, I was a really naughty kid. I mean, in primary school, there's a couple of stories that I can remember that were particularly funny. We'd had this teacher in year 6, Mrs. Brown. Oh, boy, she hated me. I want to tell a quick story that wasn't me, but it was her when she'd lose her mind and go crazy. Do you remember those days where if it rained, you had recess in the classroom?
Yeah.
You had this kind of like renegade, weird.
Yeah. You'd have to be inside.
And you kind of sat on the floor and everybody was kind of in their groups but inside.
Yeah.
So much fun.
So weird.
It was so weird but so much fun.
Like, why not just let us outside?
Because it was raining.
Yeah, but you've got undercover areas.
But also, you know,
Not
it's funny
enough
because
for
then in high
everyone.
school they're like, you're not sitting in the
suffer.
classroom.
Suffer out there.
Yeah, literally. They're like, we
don't trust you.
Yeah, we've got underground.
You guys are going to have sex in here.
Yeah.
We're not going to leave you in here alone.
Yeah, that's true. So I believe it was either free time or it was raining or I don't remember what it was, but we had a bit of like whatever and it just started getting out of control. Like it was getting real. Yeah, it was getting real loud. Like
You're all just getting
real
feral.
loud. Yeah.
That's what happens when it rains with kids.
Yes.
They go feral.
But it was so funny. I'll never, to this day, this still makes me laugh. I'll never forget this. So they were up the back and they were doing chair races. This wasn't me. This was a kid named Aaron. And I can't remember who else he was doing it. Maybe
What's
Kurt.
A chair race?
Okay, so a chair race is you kind of rock back and forth and you're kind of lifting the chair up. You know what I mean?
Like shuffling it
like
along.
shuffling it along. Thank you. Shuffling it along, but shuffling forward. And they were going, so they were doing
funny.
chair races. And I don't know how this happened, but Mrs. Brown it got too loud. Everyone's making noise, not just the chair racing. Everyone's just making so much noise. And she just goes, everyone be quiet now. And there was complete silence.
Wow.
And then somehow Aaron didn't hear. So it was complete dead silence. And then we just heard, ready, set, go. And everyone turned around and Aaron started shuffling.
He's like,
Literally. And I remember seeing that big smile on his face, like, and then he looked and he could see everyone just looking at him like, oh no, I'm not supposed to be doing this. And we all just pissed ourselves laughing. It was so, like, she was so angry. And for the next thing to happen, the most chaotic thing that could happen in the classroom happens, a kid chair racing.
He's like, George.
Literally, it was like, ready, set. I remember this big smile. Ready, set, go. like complete silence. It was so good.
That's great.
So Mrs. Brown,
Was she really angry after?
she was super angry.
So
I'm
good.
so sorry. There's a few other stories I wanted to bring up.
No, please go on.
So I got sent out.
Of
Right?
the classroom.
I got sent out of the classroom.
Yeah.
And when you got sent out of the classroom, you just got to stand at the door.
Yeah.
But I had the ingenious idea to go to the window and make the kids laugh. And she was going off at someone else. Like, she was in the red.
Was this Mrs. Brown again?
Mrs. Brown.
Oh,
She was
poor
so
Mrs.
angry.
Brown.
I pictured like the hallway outside
Mm.
and she was in the red. I think I was like running the door as well. Like I was doing something that was just getting her irate.
Just infuriating
And
her.
Mrs. Brown just stood up and goes, right.
Oh,
And I remember, funnily enough,
Terrifying.
Aaron, same kid, Aaron, turns to me, looks at me, goes, run, Daniel, run! And Mrs. Brown, Terminator style, chased me down. And I was like, ah! And I ran. And she chased me up towards the principal's office, who was already, because you remember they used to have phones? Like the classrooms could call the. I don't know if this was all, but in my primary school, they could call the office.
That. Oh my God.
So it was like an intercom system or like they had, so she called the principal and was like, I need to, So she chases me up
She's like,
and the principal was like waiting there for me. And I almost felt more safe. I was like, oh, thank God.
She's like, secure the perimeter.
Literally.
He's getting away.
No, but I was so thankful to see the principal because I was like, that woman's genuinely going to kill me, you know?
You were like scared for your life.
I was.
Well, I have a story.
Yeah.
It's not really a story, but we had this one teacher in primary school. And her name was Miss Biddle.
I had a kid with the last name Biddle. Yeah.
And she was about 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
Like
She's
legitimately.
Small girl.
Really, really tiny.
Yeah.
And like a little bit like round as well. So she was this like sort of small, cute. So to look at, she looks like real cute, little like kind of round, little like almost.
Do you
like
remember
a
the Mr.
cartoon.
Men series books?
Yes.
Did she look like one of them?
Kind of.
There was Miss Smiley and Miss Biddle.
She sounds like one too.
Yeah.
But my God, she was scary. We were all scared of her.
Was she psycho?
She was just really strict.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
you wouldn't know to look at her.
Yeah.
But she was just really scary. Like she would get really angry
Yeah.
in class if someone was mucking up.
Yeah.
She would lose her shit.
Different teachers had different methods. And as a kid, you were so scared of some teachers and then so excited about some others.
Yeah.
There was a teacher that would just like play the guitar and stuff.
Oh, I
and
had
then-
a guitar teacher.
Yeah, they love it. They love it.
Mr. D, my guitar guy, was called.
Did you have a hot crush on him?
Oh, not really. He was sort of like a bit of a dad figure, you know.
Okay, sure.
But I remember he was like quite casual, like quite laid back type of guy, and his daughters went to my school as well.
Oh, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Donovan.
Are they
Mr.
not? They're
D.
not allowed to teach their kids, right?
No, they are.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Why not?
And the student of the week again. Oh, Debbie, it's you.
I think one of them
You
was
won.
called Debbie.
Oh, that's so funny.
That might have been the mum. I can't remember.
That's so funny.
Anyway, Mr. D was our guitar teacher, and he used to play the guitar all the time when he was our teacher. And he would just sing random songs like with his guitar.
I'm Mr. D and I got my guitar.
But he'd also just, when he was teaching us, like sometimes he'd get us to sit in a circle on our chairs, and he would sit on his comfy chair at the front of the circle and just like lay back with his hands behind his head and like spread his legs and like.
Wait, okay,
He was wearing
stop. Just stop for a second. What? Where is this going? Are you about to be
I'm
like?
just
Does this story end with him getting arrested?
No. I'm just describing Mr. D. I'm trying to create a mental.
I hate that his name's Mr. D as well. I hate that the story is he laid back, put his hands behind his head, spread his legs.
And I was.
All right, guys, Mr. D's up.
I was gonna say
Oh no!
that you could kind of
You could
see
see
the
it.
outline.
Was it huge?
There was a bulge,
There
but
was some teachers that just had massive dicks.
why?
Yeah, I just think that's just part of life. There was just. I think if
Some people
I think if you're a teacher,
have big.
I think if you're a teacher, you're either in the class of you've got a small dick.
It's one or the other.
Music teachers
Why?
generally have small
teachers?
dicks.
Oh,
You're gonna say huge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have no evidence of that, but I just was assuming
Oh no!
because Mr. D was musical.
and he was big old.
Well,
His last name didn't even start with a D. He just came in and said, "Just call me Mr. D." When he got hired,
they call me Mr. D.
they call me it's Mr. Bunton, but you should probably just call me Mr. D.
It's gonna happen anyway.
It's gonna happen. You're gonna slip it. You're gonna slip it out.
Oh.
God.
But, you know, in my small primary school kind of head, I don't have anything to compare the size to. So it could have been nondescript sort of.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Not that impressive.
It could have been.
Average. But, you know, when a man is laying back and spreading his legs in front of you and wearing
Why was he
tight
doing
jeans,
that? Yeah.
he was just a laid back guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh God, I hope so.
Well,
I hope that's all he was.
No, nothing sus. It was just that's just the kind of guy he was, I
Yeah.
think, and he was just chill.
Well, if you're packing that much meat, you know.
Look at Marty.
I know.
Cute.
I know.
For some reason, when he wanted us to do something, he would count to 3, and I think it was German. You know how teachers have these random things they do? and
Yes,
it's
there was
just
a
part
teacher.
of
Yeah.
it?
There was a teacher, the guitar teacher. I never had him, but apparently he was fucking lit. But there was there was this guitar teacher who went Deo, and then the kids would have to go Deo.
Oh, I love that song. We had a music teacher, and she only came in to teach music. She didn't teach anything else.
Yep.
So she only came in sort of sporadically. She wasn't full time or anything. Her name was Julie. We didn't call her Miss whatever.
Yeah.
We called her Julie.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know why. To this day, I do not know why she wasn't Miss. I don't even know her last
Again,
name.
you seem to have a lot of teachers that potentially didn't work there. Hi kids, I'm Julie.
It wasn't even a school.
Do we call you Miss anything? No, I don't work here.
And
Yeah.
this is controversial, but I could have sworn her and Mr. D had a thing going
Ooh.
on. Yeah.
There was one teacher, Mr. Thompson, and I'll never forget. He was like the sub quite often. And I swear to God, this motherfucker did not give a shit about his job. Because I remember one time we were all making noise and he was like, listen, he got everyone to shut up. And he's like, I was about to say, let's put on Lord of the Rings. But if you kids are going to act like this, then we can just do work instead. And he would just always put a movie on.
It always put on Lord of the Rings.
He just put a movie
He
on.
was just obsessed with Lord of the Rings. It was always only Lord of the Rings.
He was sitting there mouthing the words as if like
He's reciting
you shall not pass.
every single line. He knows it off by heart. He goes home and watches it every night. And then he wants to watch it during the day. And he's crying when Boromir dies. Every time it gets him.
Yeah, and if we talk during it, he sends us out.
Yeah. They say one word, get out.
He goes to the principal's office. I just can't keep them under control. I don't know what to do with these kids.
Even Lord of the Rings won't keep them in check.
I'm sorry, what? You're putting on Lord of the Rings?
Tried
What?
everything.
What were some other ones? There was another one. We had this science teacher, Mr. Armstrong, and he looked like, you know that Looney Tunes character that's like, that dog, the droopy dog.
Yeah, that's his
He
name.
looked like him.
We can't even look it up
Like
because we don't have internet.
we don't have internet.
or
We're off grid
reception.
here. But he looked him up. He looked exactly like
Did
him.
he sound like you?
No, he was more like, yes, hello.
Oh,
Okay, so turn to chapter 12.
that's funny too.
Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Armstrong is bending over trying to help someone,
Yeah.
right? So the row in front of us, he's behind them and he's
Mhm.
kind of leaning over, like pointing at the things on the thing. So his ass is in our face. And I'm sitting there like pretending to touch it and pretending to like finger it and doing all of this stuff. And I'm with, I don't know, I want to say Tanya and maybe someone else. I can't remember. And then Cameron is there next to us. These are all just kids I went to school with, by the way. I'm not going to bother explaining who they all are. But Cameron was very naughty, but he was clever. Cameron was probably the naughtiest kid, but he somehow knew how to get away with shit. He wasn't like me. I was way too reckless. So I was sitting there pretending to finger him.
Classic.
Right? And then I was like, Cameron, look. And I was like, Cameron. And Cameron looked at him and went, ugh. And Cameron picked up the ruler and just smacked him on the ass with it. and then puts the ruler down
Oh my God.
and just goes back to work. And we were all so fucking stunned.
Yeah.
We were all like, ugh. And he turned around and looked at us, and I'm sitting there just like looking up at him, and he's like,
Yeah, you would have.
but because he was so droopy, he was like, would you mind not being so inappropriate? Like he just had no, there's nothing in the rule book that says a kid has just smacked me in the ass with a ruler. What do I do? Why the fuck does anyone want to be a teacher? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
When I left school, I thought about everything I did and everything I saw of just how much we would go insane. I once drove Mrs. Joel insane because I convinced every single kid in the class, including the ones that weren't naughty, to put their hands on their head. And I just watched this woman lose her mind. She was just like, okay, now in chapter 12, we can sit to... She just see a few people do it. Moving on. Now, the Renaissance was why have you all got your hands on your head? Stop that. Put that down.
And they didn't.
I think everyone stuck to their guns for a while.
Wow.
And then there was another time where we had this substitute teacher and I convinced everyone to just hide around the corner. So she rocked up and it fucking ruined her day.
Oh.
She was sitting there like, I don't understand where my kids are. I thought, am I in the wrong place? Like, what's going on?
Oh, poor thing. Teachers are so underpaid, hey. I think you have to like kids, but I really think a lot of them it just breaks their spirit. Like, you know, my art teacher, Mr. Watson, he was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
And he was older. He'd probably been cracked by all the kids, you know?
Well, okay, let's bring it full circle now, and I'll tell you the story of how I got kicked out of high school.
Yeah.
Early age, got into filmmaking. I was still in high school, right? And I was like, I think I want to be a filmmaker. And then drama comes around, year 11, drama. What are we doing as a subject? Film, right? We're all going to make a short film. I was like, fuck yeah. I think I'd already been writing scripts. I think I'd already been fucking around with like editing and stuff. So I was like super into it, already knew it. We get in, we're doing film, but what we're doing is they partner with this organization that runs a thing called Harmony Day, which promotes multiculturalism. We were split into two groups. I was like, let's make a documentary about the school. We're all really excited about it. And I had this idea to open the doco with this shot. We were going to sit at the top of where the assembly was.
Yeah.
Right? And put a static shot in and then just record it and then speed it up. And I was like, we fast forward that and that's kind of cool because it shows all the kids, whatever. The woman from Harmony Day, she used to be a teacher at the school. I don't remember why, but we really didn't like her. She kind of sucked. She kept stomping on all our ideas. She kept being like, no. I don't even, it's like that part's foggy, but we just didn't like her. Then we're recording this assembly bit. And for some reason, we set the mic up. And I said into the microphone, you know what's funny? We could say anything into the microphone right now. And no one would ever hear it.
Oh, God.
Because in my head, I'm like, we're going to film this, then we're going to convert it from the tape to the computer, then we're going to edit it. And then we're editing it, right? Because I'd done it before. I'd been doing it at home. So we just went there and just went on an absolute tirade.
Yeah.
Of saying shit about all of the teachers and specifically her. And it wasn't good stuff.
Yeah.
It was real aggressive stuff.
Ooh.
It was all, you know, I mean, we were fucking 15 years old.
Yeah.
And we were just horrible. And then on top of that, people were walking past and we were like, do you want to say something? And they were just saying, and this was going to just be a fun moment for us.
Yeah.
To go back to the edit suite and listen to all this crazy shit we recorded.
Yeah.
Anyway, then we get back to drama and she goes, okay, right, now everyone give me your tapes and I'm going to convert them over the weekend.
Ooh.
And I even at the time said, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to convert it to a CD and bring it, and then we have to convert it to the computer again. It makes more sense to convert it straight to the computer.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, this is just going to be, it's going to be better. Trust me, it's going to be a better way to do it. And she could see that we were nervous.
Yeah.
She was like, you know,
you should have just taken it out and stomped on it. Whoops.
By all rights, we fucking could have, because that wouldn't have been a hard
Why'd you
shot.
give it to her?
We could have just followed that shot up the next assembly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she could see that we were nervous.
Yeah.
Right. And she was like, "What's wrong?" And I remember me and Steve were so nervous, and Steve looked at me, and then he turns to her and he goes, "Look, we just had some time left at the end of the day, and we were just filming us being really silly.
Yeah.
And we don't want you to see that."
Yeah.
And she goes, "I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to convert it, let it do its thing in the background."
Mm.
So we were like, "Okay."
Okay.
So Steve
tried to be fair.
tried. So we were just like, "Okay, she's told us that she's not going to look
She's not
at it."
going to look or listen, yeah.
So we give it to her. I mean, everybody can kind of see where the story's going. Obviously, she looked at it. The following week, I go into drama. We go in and we're ready to edit. And I'm excited. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. Like, I was really excited about it. And the teacher wasn't there, right? And we were just kind of sitting there waiting. And then this other teacher comes up and she goes, "You need to come with me right now."
Oh.
And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And I was like walking down with her and I was like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Just don't speak. You're going down to the principal's office."
Oh.
I was like, okay.
Oh, scary.
I walked down to the principal's
Giving me
office.
anxiety.
I walked down to the principal's office and she's like, "You go in there." And then weirdly, she only escorted me to the door. She didn't hand me off.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk in and I walk right to the edge of the door and I see this teacher who ran the Harmony Day thing crying.
Oh.
She was just standing there crying.
Oh, no.
And I just ran. I literally took a couple of steps back and I just bolted.
Oh, no.
I bolted. I left the school.
Oh.
I couldn't confront it. I was
Yeah.
just like, oh my God.
It was too scary.
It was too scary. Yeah. Yeah, it was too scary.
Yeah.
And then I was like kind of just hiding, and then my friends came and saw me and they were like, "Where are you?" I met up with them.
You were outside the school.
I was outside the school being like,
just out the fence.
and then eventually, you know what was really funny? Like all of this stuff would happen often where I'd do something really naughty and crazy and I'd run away and bail, and then I'd just go back to school and just start going to the classes that I was supposed to go to again and acting like nothing happened. And then they'd send someone up and be like, "Yeah, you got to go to the principal's office. Like they're like, you've signed in, they know you're here. Like you got to." So I went down and yeah, she was like, I think immediate suspension, right? And that was at that moment, I felt the gravity of how serious this was, because I went home and there was so many assignments and homework and all of this shit that I wasn't doing, and I felt how serious it was. So during my suspension, by myself, people weren't saying, "You better go home and do all of this work." I went and finished all my assignments, I did all my homework, and I came back and they were like, "We're not letting you back."
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
But having said that, it did suck. But also, I shouldn't have said mean and rude things. I was a kid. I was just being stupid. But yeah, it's a
pretty epic kicking out of school story. I've got another story about classroom, primary school.
Yeah.
So in my primary school, we had a thing called the book.
Yeah.
And that was the naughty register.
Oh,
right?
no. Yeah, they had all these fun little systems and stars and stuff that you get. Yeah.
Our naughty system was school-wide, right? It wasn't just to the classroom.
Yeah.
If you did something really bad, you got your name in the book.
Ooh.
The book in capitals.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it was always such a threat, like, "Oh, you don't want to get your name in the book." No, don't want to go in the book,
So there wasn't any explanation as to what happened when you were in this book. It's just you were in it.
It was just an overall arching threat of being in the book.
Okay.
But I think I might be making this up, but I'm pretty sure if you got your name in there 3 times, it was like a threat of suspension.
You got your name in the bigger book or the big book. and it was a big book, and the books just kept growing in size.
They carry it out of the room and it's just like on the table. Now you've done it.
And then the biggest book, they just kill the kid. They're just full Handmaid's Tale, like hang them in the fucking.
Yeah, so getting your name in the book was a big deal.
Yeah, okay.
Could have been, suspension or expulsion.
Sure.
And I think the one time that I was threatened or maybe even did get my name in the book, this guy called Travis in my year.
What year, sorry?
It was probably maybe year 4 or 5.
Okay. Travis.
Around then.
Haven't heard about this. Is a new character.
Travis.
A new character has just entered.
Yeah.
Travis, yeah?
Yeah. He was annoying.
Oh, so
Did not like Travis.
Okay.
It was a no on Travis.
No on Travis.
But he was chasing me or something, or it was playing this game that I was not consenting to. And he grabbed me. He grabbed me around the wrist. And then I wanted him to let go and he wouldn't.
Oh.
So I pinched him.
Oh, yeah.
I pinched him.
Yeah.
And he immediately started crying.
And then you got threatened for the book.
Yes. He started crying, holding his arm where I pinched him and walked. He walked. We were in the grounds of the school. He walked back up towards the office and I was like, oh no, he's going to tattle on me.
Yeah, he's going to tattle.
Because he was a notorious tattler as well.
Oh, I hate this kid.
Yeah, he was such a shit.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh shit, anxiety.
Yeah.
And then guess who it was that
Who?
he told?
Who?
Miss Biddle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I know.
Wait, so the book, was that just Miss Biddle's thing, or this was a school-wide
it was
thing?
school-wide.
Oh my gosh.
School-wide. It was at the front office,
Oh
where
my
you go to the
gosh.
sick bay, that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
It was there. That's where the book lived.
Oh my
I
god.
had to
Did you
go
hear
to-
her coming?
So she called me to the someone came and got me. It's like, you have to go to the office. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Wait, you walked in, it was raining and thunderstorming and she was looking out the window. Come in, Maddie. Like the most treacherous.
She's facing away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really intimidating.
What is a naughty child? she gives a whole monologue.
An evil monologue.
An evil monologue.
For sure.
You know, we're watching what's that, Sneaky Pete, and like every evil character has this long fucking
they
monologue.
all have a monologue.
Yeah. But that's what Miss Biddle does. She goes,
Yeah.
I started teaching in the 70s. And there was this one kid, nice kid. And she said, please don't put me in the book. This is the first time I've ever done anything wrong. Well, you know what that kid ended up doing? Killing 9 people.
I didn't put her in the book that day. Anyway, so
Yeah.
I walk into the office. I'm really scared. Miss Biddle's there with Travis. He's, still crocodile tears.
Yeah.
She's really angry. She looks at me. She goes, did you pinch him?
I hate her.
And I was like,
No, you said no.
well, I was like on the verge of tears. I was like,
Oh no. Oh, I'm going to cry. I
I
feel so
know.
protective of you when you
Well-
tell these stories, I swear.
well, I was like, it wasn't my fault. He
Yeah.
wouldn't let go of me.
Yeah.
So I said that I was trying to get his arm off me and I accidentally pinched his skin trying to pull his arm off me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if she believed me. I can't really remember what happened, but I hated Travis after that. I was like, you little shit.
Did she put you in the book?
I can't remember, but probably. I don't know if that was a book offense.
What was it then? A warning?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if she believed me.
Did you pinch him?
Did you pinch him?
That's how she said it? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I was like, fucking hell.
Wow.
I didn't tell you this as well. I used to get lifts to school with Miss Biddle sometimes.
Wow.
She used to drive me to school.
Did she give evil monologues on the way?
Well, it's raining. She's
Wait,
just looking at the road.
I don't know why, but I'm imagining her playing just classical operatic music. Just sitting there, just not saying anything. Like you had to just sit in the back in silence, just all like tensely tightened up, and she's just sitting there just...
But she's in a booster seat because she's so small. It's even more intimidating. I'm like, Spittle, what's that seat thing for?
She pulls up, she drag races the next person to it.
She has to wear little stilts on her feet to reach the pedal.
Was it just you and her?
I think so.
That's bizarre.
Weird, right?
Yes.
I don't know why. I'm going to have to ask Mum about that.
The sisters?
Oh, and she had a really huge boyfriend. I can't remember if it was boyfriend or partner or whatever, but he was ginormous. But I guess everyone was compared to her. She was so teensy.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm not tall, but
No. She was smaller than you?
so small.
Oh my gosh.
4 foot, I swear to God.
What was her boyfriend's name? Thor.
But I just remember sort of sometimes I would picture them at home together, you know, and just be like, that's a really funny image.
Him lifting her up so she can grab mugs off the shelf.
Them in bed together, just like really funny image,
no.
you
know. Her giving it.
Zona.
He gets home late. She gives an evil monologue in the window. What time is it, Travis?
No, it can't be Travis.
I might put rain sound effects underneath this every time we mention this bit. Oh no, Travis. Oh,
It
sorry.
can't
Yeah.
be Travis.
No.
Richard, maybe.
Richard. What time is it, Richard? She's got a cat like purring.
Stroking the cat.
Oh God. Wow,
Yeah,
Miss Biddle.
I'd love to talk to Miss Biddle.
I'll say this story. It's one of my favourite stories. It was in Mr. Gallagher's class. James, who is my best mate, when we first became friends in high school. I've told you this story about the brick wall.
I don't remember this.
So we're in history class, and James was like, he hated getting in trouble in class. So we'd always muck around and dick around like in recess, and we'd have so much fun. But he hated like getting in trouble in class.
Yeah.
So he was just like, just stop. And I think he wanted to learn as well. I think he was curious.
Poor
about learning.
James.
Yeah, I know.
And you're just like distracting him.
I
the whole time.
know. Anyway, he goes, listen, just stop, okay? Because I'd be like touching him and being like, and he's like, listen, okay, there is an imaginary brick wall between us, okay? And I was like, okay, all right, sure. And then I was next to him and I went, I shot my hand through it. And pretended to punch through the brick wall and was grabbing around and grabbing him like I couldn't see him. And just grabbing him.
Like your arm was actually through a wall. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah. Like I couldn't see, but I was just trying to grab what was on the other side of the wall.
Poor James.
I know.
So cute though.
Yeah, I know. It was the best. Wait, just checking the notes here. And there's one other thing we haven't talked about, which is Phoebe class clown story.
Yeah, so my sister Phoebe, who comes up a lot on this podcast, she's quite the character herself. But as we know, she doesn't listen, so who cares? So she had a class clown in high school that she used to tell me a lot of things about. His name was Marley. And I swear he would have had ADHD as well. He was bonkers. Yeah. He just did so much shit that was really funny, but also really annoying. Bit like Jonah out of Summer Heights High.
Yeah, sure.
One time your chair game reminded me of this. Yeah. The teacher turned around once and he was at the back of the classroom. You know how there's aisles down the center of the desks? He was in one of the aisles riding his chair down the aisle.
Nice. Yeah.
Just riding towards the front of the classroom. Yeah. And apparently that he would do that a lot. Like that was his thing. And the teacher would just be like, Molly! But like she would get annoyed because Phoebe was, studious in high school.
Yeah,
but she'd get annoyed with him because he'd always be so disruptive. And but yeah, that just reminded me of that. Like he was riding his chair up and down the
chair riding. It was a fun game.
The aisles, yeah.
It's a fun game. Should I attempt social plugs?
Okay. This did not go well last time, so let's see.
Me. You can follow us on.
Oh my God.
That was a warm up.
Okay.
One more shot. Maybe that's the rule with social plugs. You have to do it in
You've
one
got
go.
one chance.
You got one chance, and that's it, right?
Otherwise.
Okay, so here we go. You can follow us on all platforms at Remember That Podcast. You can follow me at TooMuch_Danny or Maddie at Miss Maddie Bell.
Well done.
Subscribe, like. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Twitter, no?
Nope.
No. Yeah, I don't know these things. I don't do anything.
That's okay. I'm releasing the tension because I got the social plug.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
All right. Well,
Anyway, love you.
love you.
Good night, kids.
Good night, kids.